Hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here 365 days of the year. Yes, I am. And I'm here to take your political questions out of the chat. I try to stay on for at least an hour. I was saying 12 questions, but I don't know. It's sometimes I get through more, sometimes I get through less. But anyway, I'm here for at least an hour to read on your political questions. And 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. If you are watching this on replay, hello, you can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed out there, and I timestamp them as I go. Or you can bump the speed up to 1.25, which I do a lot on YouTube. So kind of get through... get a little bit more, get all the entertainment or the information or whatever you'd like, but just kind of move it along a little. It's a thought. Okay. If daylight savings time is not kicking your rear end this morning, I applaud you. If you are subject to... Sorry, that all over the floor. If you are subject to daylight savings time and it is not kicking your rear end this morning, I applaud you. I absolutely applaud you because, yeah. Anyway, okay. Hello. So, got lots of good questions. And also, I wanted to, did you guys see, I was watching this morning. It takes me a while to get to some of the videos, but Hogarth had Lady Ganga and Lena on. And Lady Ganga, she did this amazing kind of Dolly Parton 80s glamour thing. It looked great. So I do recommend that. That was really good. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. So and bless Lady Ganga because she's having a thyroidectomy soon. So bless. For her health, for a speedy recovery, for a bright future. Bless. Okay. As I watched Hogarth's show last night, Lady G looked amazing, didn't she? That was impressive. I mean, I first saw it, and I know she said she was doing it for being supportive, of the drag queens out there. Oh, my hair is wet. But when I first saw it, I thought, do I need to up my game? So anyway, all right. There is so much going on astrologically. I'm actually having trouble this week. Your astrology forecast is... I hope I can get it out today. It turns out that today, pretty quiet. Tomorrow, pretty quiet. Wednesday, a couple of things, no big deal. So I'm used to, when I look at this notebook, it gives me a quick highlight of what I need to be talking about. One day I've got something, one day want something, one day, a couple of things. That's okay, a couple of things. But moon's changing signs. A lot of the things that aren't highlighted are the moon making aspects to things, which it does quite often, and that can affect the day. But the shorts I make, your astrology forecast is meant to be only like 2 minutes long, 2.5, maybe 3 on the outside, but really it's supposed to be short. So I usually skip the moon aspects to things. But so I get a couple things here, and then comes Thursday. And none of that is the moon changing sign. I don't have space on my graphics for all of that. And then on Friday, there's this. I don't have space on my graphics for that. I have to rebuild, or I have to build some new graphics to just hold all this stuff that's shifting and changing. And I'm telling you all this because, this is the energy that's going on. Everything is shifting. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's change. And change can be tough sometimes. Teresa Ford says do parts 1 through 3. Eileen is suggesting I could split it into 2 or 3 short videos. Well, no, I understand. I'm trying to make your astrology forecast into to be a regular short. And YouTube in its current infinite wisdom is only allowing shorts that are 1 minute long. So when I start putting them up as shorts, I'm already running into an issue where I'm going to have a part 1 and part 2. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm telling you all of this because if it just seems like you're being just not overwhelmed or blindsided, or if you're feeling like, what the everything's shifting, it kind of is. And then next week, I haven't highlighted this yet, but on Thursday, right there, Pluto enters Aquarius, where it will retrograde back, and it will retrograde back and forth. So it'll go over that point a few times before it moves in permanently. Not permanently. It moves into Aquarius for the next 20 years. 20 years. So what we're talking about is right here. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. It entered Capricorn, and we had the whole banking kaplooey. And now Pluto is entering Aquarius. And because Pluto has this elliptical, it doesn't have a round orbit, it has an elliptical orbit, and on the regular plane of the solar system, where you have all the planets around, its elliptical orbit is actually even at an angle. And there are times, like in 1999, I believe it was it 99? I'll have to go back and check. But there are times when Pluto is actually closer to us than Neptune. So yeah, it's so it doesn't stay in signs for like a specific number of its orbit. It doesn't stay in each sign for a specific amount of time. And if you do the math, that's 2008 until 2023 is different from 2023 to 2043. So it's obviously moving onto one of the longer, like the sides of the, anyway. So this is a big deal. So everything Aquarian related, Pluto's going to start plowing through that, and it's going to start kicking up all the dust and digging out everything that doesn't have strong roots so that we can deal with it. Quite the timing, because Aquarius rules technology. Also, it's equality, but it's equality, it's humanitarianism. But anybody who is trying to tell you that, yes, Aquarius, it's all going to be about the individual being free. No. No. Individual, that would be Taurus. Sorry, Aries. Why did I say Taurus? I don't know. That would be Aries. This is the collective. This is we. This is revolution when people get together. Like the last time there was the American Revolution took place with Pluto in Aquarius. It's we get together to fight for equality. We get together. So that's that, plus all but 3 planets are changing sign this month, I think. Mercury and Venus are closer into the sun. They change signs all the time because the the moon is the moon is working its way counterclockwise. It just, from our perspective, it has these constellations behind it throughout the year, and there's 360 degrees in a circle. There are 365 days in an Earth year. So the sun is moving around 1 degree a day, and since Mercury and Venus are so close to the sun, they're closer than we are, they never get too far away from the sun, so they're zipping along too. So that's not as big of a deal. It's when the outer planets start changing signs that it really starts affecting things. It's big energy we're not used to. So anyway, so there's just, if you're feeling overwhelmed, slightly blindsided, this is why. Sonny says Aquarius rules humanity and technology. Yes. Lady Eva says, now I'm getting nervous about traveling on Thursday. Not necessarily. It just depends. You know, I don't know what your individual chart is doing, and it's also why. Excuse me. You'll notice I don't do anything on this channel that is based on your sign, like going through the 12 signs. How is this going to affect you? Because frankly, I think that there is so much involved in astrology that knowing how something's going to affect my sun in my chart, that's great. But there's so much else going on in my chart, and different areas are getting amplified at different times and challenged at different times. And so that's why I don't do that, because there's so much going on. So even though there's a conjunction on Thursday, there's a conjunction. Venus is going into Taurus. Venus rules Taurus. Venus is happy as could be in Taurus. So that's good energy. The other things are squares. So there could be some friction energy, but these are what the transiting planets are doing themselves, how they're aspecting each other. And we're just kind of caught in it. And it will affect different people different way. Exactly, Tiger's charts are so individualized and nuanced. Exactly. Yeah. So Karen B says, my eyes glaze over with so much detail in astrology. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I find it incredibly useful. So, and that's another reason to do this as a short. So it's just a general idea of what's coming up this week. But what's coming up this week is all change. Kind of like, okay, the train got to here, or the bus got to here. Okay, everybody off to your next thing. So, Lady Eva says you should see Hogan's Heroes dubbed over in German. That would be interesting. I know nothing. I don't know what that would be in German. Karen B says definitely useful, but so much to know. Yes. And Glenn says it's a big universe with lots of moving parts. Exactly. Exactly. So Lady Eva says it's hilarious. All right. I should share this then. Sarah just sent me a meme. Well, let me share quickly, and then I'll get to the readings. Diana says, I love how your room keeps changing with your nails. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sarah just sent me this meme. Make sure you can read this. No, let me get rid of the overlay. And make this like that. Just read it carefully. French and German on this cup looks questionable. Caution, hot. Avoid pouring on crotch area. Ne pourrez pas. Oh, wow. Dans l'area de oulala. 9 Droppen the hot Kaffee und Zanackers. Of course, it's not German. Azalea, Achtung. Exactly. Anyway, yeah. All right, just a little jocularity. All right. At 16 minutes, and let's look at the first Trump question. We're going to be okay. It's just change. It's just change. Not all bad. Yeah, a little silliness, Teresa. Exactly. All right. Oh, wow. CC Ryder says Lady G posted a bunch of videos singing different songs. She rocks. She looks awesome. She said she was going to go over onto her channel and sing Jolene. That's awesome. That's fun. You know me. Little bit of fun, little bit of silliness. That's how life should be. I love Anne. Anne saying, ooh la la. Yes. All right. So Trump lawyers are idiots. Do I need to read on this? Yes, I do. Trump's lawyers are scrambling for defense against imminent indictment coming from New York. Hang on. Oh, number 4. That's going to be the boneheaded, are you kidding me? But okay. Okay, so this is just the regular. Trump's lawyers are scrambling for a defense against the quote-unquote imminent indictment coming from New York. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too high, just because, well, currently their case is heavily dependent on the claim that the statute of limitations has passed. Unfortunately for 45, with COVID extension rules in place and the fact that his moving out of the state seemingly paused the clock, and somebody was quoting the actual New York law. It's like, yep, you moved out of state, you paused the clock. Will Trump's lawyers be able to find any shred of hope of saving him? Well, my concern with the New York thing, if they're going to do the Stormy Daniels thing, is correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is nobody's actually been prosecuted for this particular thing. Is that true? And what they're going for is a felony conviction. Mel Broussard says they'll just delay it again. It's all they do. It's all they do is delay. That's true. But so are Trump's lawyers in New York, are they going to pull the rabbit out of the hat? Oh, oops. All right. Veronica, ooh la la. That today's episode is brought to you by the word ooh la la. 5 of Pentacles. First of all, Trump's kind of out in the cold, but also, yeah, this does not bode well for him. This is desperate times. This is the little match girl card. So the Fool, the Star, the Tower. Oh my gosh. The King of Cups. The Death card. Okay. I don't think it's going to go well for Trump. And those of you, I have had people in the comments say, I don't read tarot, so I don't understand when you just put up cards and you just react and you don't say anything. Okay, let me make sure I can make this clear. In tarot, there's major arcana, there's minor arcana. The minor arcana are like the suits, like where you get kings and queens and the 1s and 2s and 3s. They have a lot of energy, but it's the major arcana, which goes from 0, the Fool, up to 21, the World. And those are, you can almost think of them as being bigger than the minor arcana cards. The cards you'd see in a deck of cards, like if you were playing poker or gin rummy or something. Because this is a lot of energy. And this is usually quite often, and let me just, I know, oh, you guys know this, but let me, again, I'm still using this as my screen lock because I just think I just really like it. I found this on Pinterest. I've been using it for a long time as my screen lock. And it's this towering figure, and there's a person there, and this is like an angel. And I sometimes think of this as minor arcana, the suit cards, and then this is like the major arcana. So, as Eddie says, there are less major arcana in a deck of cards, so it's more rare to get one in a 5-card spread, much less 4. Yes. And Diana saying, ouch, Star, Fool, Tower, Death. Yes. So the question is, will Trump's lawyers be able to find something that's going to get Trump out of trouble? And this is the little match girl card. This is not good. And the only thing here that isn't major arcana is the King of Cups. And cups are, for me, are usually this would be D.A. Alvin Bragg, or this would be anybody who goes against Trump, they look at as a Democrat, and I get cups for Democrats. So this is not good. And then these cards are, he is a huge fool who thinks he can do anything. He thinks he's a star, but this is also a card of hope. So it kind of resonates with this King of Cups, which is the emotional cups. And then right in the center, usually in a 5-card spread, it's the center card that has the most power. This is the Tower. This is kaboom. This is the liberal prosecutors and bringing not literal death, but just raining justice down on him, really. And to the extent actually where this is hope for us for a better day. But just the fact that I've got 4 major arcana here and it's got Tower in the middle and it ends in death. I don't think this is just D.A. Bragg in New York. This would be everything coming all at once. And yeah. So good luck. Yeah. Diana says, foolish reality TV star. Yeah. There's also I really like the star card because it's a card of hope. So it's that too. So 2430. The judge in the E. Jean Carroll case is pushing for an anonymous jury in the trial to protect members from threats and doxing. Both sides have to agree. What concerns me is the way that the question is worded. Will Trump do the right thing? Does he ever? Are jurors in Trump's trial, are they going to end up being harassed and man, Karen B says no, and it's kind of like the Bugs Bunny meme of no. All right, anonymous jury, Eugene Carroll case, King of Pentacles. What's in it for the lawyers are saying what's in it for us? I know, Deanna, Trump never does the right thing, even when it's in his best interest. Diana Cachet, 45 doing the right thing. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Oh, 7 of Cups, 5 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, 9 of Cups. What this feels like is some but not all of the members of the jury don't care. Some would very much like to remain anonymous, but quite a few of them are of a mind of, I don't care, just bring the case. This is, well, they're Trump's lawyers, they're trying to say everything's fake and false, and they're trying to kick everything down, but they can't manage to do it. And they're going to come up with their game plan, but you've got the sword of truth and you've got all of the evidence laid out. Plus the fact he said in the defamation was, he said, I wouldn't, and she's not my type, and all of this kind of stuff. And then during the deposition, when he was shown a picture of Eugene Carroll back at the time this happened, allegedly, I have to say allegedly, for entertainment only YouTube, they showed him a picture and said, who is this? And he said, well, that's my wife, Marlon Maple. That was my wife. Not your type, huh? Not your type. So what I'm getting is a feeling. The cards are not saying a lot, but I'm getting a feeling, which is a lot of the jurors, they don't care. And some of them would remain hidden anyway. They'll just do their thing and then peace out. Oh, who was that? Who was that? Diana? Who was that? Diana, thank you. Diana Cachet said, love me some courageous jurors. Yes, absolutely. So, ugh. Kelly B says, swords can mean justice is coming, hopefully. Oh yeah, that sword of truth. Oh, it's coming. Oh, isn't it just? Ellen D says, if they refuse an anonymous jury, could the jurors hold them responsible if they're doxxed? That I don't know. That is just a straight up Google question. Legal. But what it just feels like is a bunch of them are like, no. And it isn't like they want to get Donald Trump. It's just, as jurors, they're like, no, this is what I'm here for. And maybe some of them want to come out and say something later or write a book or whatever. But a lot of them, they just feel like people are like, no, I'm an American. There's jury duty. I'm doing jury duty. And it feels like a couple of them are like, it could be interesting. Sure. So here we go. Oh, here we go. Okay, now comes question number 3. At 30 minutes in, For the upcoming Carroll trial, potential indictments, unseen possible repercussions from the Dominion case, and Jack Smith getting ready, per rumors, to start the ball rolling with the DOJ. This week kicks off what legal experts are referring to as an amazing legal avalanche. For Trump, is this the beginning of what we've been waiting for? Black diamond. A black diamond hill. No guts, no glory. Your legal cliff awaits. Yeah, Starhawk, that's what I found too, and he's not that old. So, yeah, it's a lot. Lady Eva says in 2 weeks. That was awesome, and I can't do a good New York accent, but that Karen B said, oh no, it was that one. Yeah, it's okay. He's not going to get the chance. No, it was Glenn Bird who said, they're New Yorkers. Hey, we're trying to see justice down here. That is awesome. Okay, is this the beginning? Oh my gosh, this is Tower card again. I don't think Trump's got a good time ahead of him. I like it. I'm liking it. Cassie Delisle's like, the ball from Raiders of the Lost Ark, you mean? You guys are funny. Lady Eva, that is when we have daylight savings. I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Zaya says, doom is imminent for Trump, it seems. Wow, Tower again. Ace of Swords. There's that Sword of Truth again. I shuffled. You saw me shuffle. Magician. 4 of Pentacles. 3 of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Well, the card of the ring is a Tower. And this is the Sword of Truth, and this is people standing up against Trump. And this is, for all the money Trump has, he's not getting all of his legal bills covered. And Griftco hemorrhages money on a good day. So this is him trying to raise money. And he's going to be pulling out all the stops to try and get the Republican nominee, whatever it takes, because it's the only thing that he thinks can save him. So I've got popcorn ready. I haven't got a new container. Just bought a new thing of popcorn. Okay. Big microwave popcorn bowl. Yeah. All right. Now this is just boneheaded. These are Trump lawyers. I mean, he gets his lawyers out of gumball machines. Where the kind where you put a quarter or two in and you put it in and you turn the twister and you get the clear plastic ball and you open it up and then you add water and poof, lawyer. That's the quality of lawyer that Trump is using. Well, faced with an onslaught of lawsuits ranging from fraud to racketeering, Trump is desperately trying to delay several trials well into the 2024 presidential election season. Who's surprised? Right? Show of hands, who's surprised? And he was just called out for the scheme by U.S. District Judge Lorna Schofield. Trump's lawyers have until Wednesday to explain how they tried to play two New York judges off each other by double booking trials to potentially delay both of them. What will happen? I would be displeased. I'm sorry, you double booked two trials. If I was the judge, you set something here and there to try to get them both delayed. Furious. I would be furious. Talk about showing no respect. Oh yeah, it's just whatever it takes for communication. Just throw it out. Yeah, Deborah, what a conniving so-and-so. Two of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Page of Wands, Six of Cups. This is minor. It's not going to work. This would, if this went through, it would be a big deal. But it's not going to. Matter of fact, it feels like I don't know. Maybe that somebody in the court cases, they were maybe just in the court overall, they were talking to each other. I don't know what, but there was communication here, and these yahoos, they're trying all of this stuff, and this just feels like, but it's not going to work. It is not going to work. We're going to be okay. We'll see it. And this is all minor arcana. This doesn't feel like it's not going to work. And yeah, they're going to have some splaining to some splaining to do. You need to stand up there and give your message on, excuse you. So I didn't put down what time that was. I think it was around 34. I'll make a note. Okay. So Eileen had a question. I've got a couple questions from yesterday. They're going to get in trouble for this, but it's not going to derail things, just so you know. All right, at 38:30, Eileen had a question. Silicon Valley Bank, one of the U.S.'s 20 largest commercial banks, is now under the control of the U.S. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC. Will others follow? If so, what will be the result? And I was reading on this yesterday. There are banks that fail every year. But let me just double check. So the SVB is under the control of the U.S. FDIC. Well, others follow. Marjorie Orr, the great astrologer, her blog a while ago, she was talking about how through these years, the charts, she was looking at charts for banks all over the world, and they were all under quite a bit of strain. But we're coming out of a pandemic, and the fact, I mean, look how what we're doing after a pandemic. Seriously. Look how you made it through. Look what you did. Look what you survived. How you've helped other people, and that's impressive. And that our economy is just ticking along the way it is, even with the inflation from the which is not from the money supply, it's from disruption in production and delivery and stuff like that. But look how well we're doing. Cheryl says U.S. is way better off than other countries. I believe it. Queen of Wands. These are the hot-headed wands are fire signs, and queens can be a group. Hotheads who are risk takers. Agnes Gray says when crypto crashed, they went under. Mm-hmm. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. There's the Star card again. There she is. There's the Magician. There are going to be some questions about, do you remember the stress tests after 2008 banking problems where it was, okay, you need to tell us how much money do you have in reserve, how much. So it looks like there may be somebody who steps up and is like, okay, we need to make sure that there's not more hidden underneath. But these are strong cards. This is a card of hope. This is the banking dynasties. This is the merchants, so the bank on the corner. This is hope. This is someone, I don't know who exactly it would be, but somebody in the high up in banking or the government or somebody who's able to tell banks, all right, let's have a good look. Let's have a good look. And I got hope right in the middle. I have not, excuse me, I have not been picking up on, banking collapses and domino effects. And if people were over leveraged in crypto, what did you expect? All right. So Mystery Caller had an interesting question that nobody else has asked. 4230. Oops. Don't erase everything I did before. 4230. Okay. Mystery Caller had an interesting question, which was with the failure. They're all interesting questions, but this one I haven't been asked before. With the failure of the SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. So the word bank is redundant. Anyway, with the failure of the Silicon Valley Bank, will the Federal Reserve have to stop raising interest rates or even lower interest rates to prevent other bank failures? Now, this is interesting because they will do that. True, Karen B. Dodd-Frank was not renewed by Trump. True. But the banks themselves, especially the biggest banks, they have a vested interest in not going through 2008 again. Yes, they need to get, they answer to their stockholders and they're not above charging people ridiculous fees and, et cetera, what they can get away with. But they saw what happened and they have a vested interest in being like, no, hang on. But anyway, Federal Reserve does mean you'll stop raising interest rates and lower them. Softly, softly, catchy monkey. They are very concerned. Understandably. We just survived a pandemic around the world. Disruption, deaths. The Federal Reserve, they are very careful. And that's the energy I was getting. It was just like small steps, careful. like being in a room full of, you know, I don't know, careful, you know, blown glass vases or something, where it's just like you're walking through and there's not a lot of space. So you're like, oh, careful, careful, careful. That's what it feels like. Magician, Six of Cups, Death card, Four of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Will the Federal Reserve start lowering interest rates? They are understandably concerned about the economy. They don't want to raise rates too high that they kill the growth. They don't want it too low that things start getting out of hands again. And yeah, they remember 2008. And they think that the economy is just getting on its feet. It just, my gosh, they're nervous. But it doesn't feel like panic nervous. It feels like you work in the infectious disease area of the CDC, where you put yourself in your hazmat suit every day, and you're very, very careful with what you're doing. But it's your job, so it's what you do. But you're very careful. This isn't really necessarily telling me what they're going to do. It's just telling me how careful they're going to be. Clark says the stock market is not the economy. That's true, but we're talking about the banks right now, so. So, Federal Reserve, rates up, rates down, rates even. I don't know if it will tell me. This might lean too far into you can make money. And yeah, the cards don't like giving us information on that. You know, I have found with the cards, if I ask something like, should I do this particular thing to improve a product? Should I, you know, like working on this thing that will hopefully help people and do this thing? I'm happy to give answers. But if it's, how do I make more money in my business? It's almost like the universe is just like, pat you on the head. It's like, help people. Yeah, but I need cash. I need help people. You're on the physical plane. What more do you need? It's like, okay, fine. The Federal Reserve is looking at the hotheads who went all in on crypto. I guess there's some work being done because there are cars up and down the streets, which is very strange. Anyway, Three of Cups, High Priestess, Star, Five of Swords, Two of Cups. They're not, all I'm getting is they're not going to do anything drastic. That things are, there's some hope here. There's real hope, and things have been better than could be expected under the circumstances. They're trying to keep some of their deliberations kind of quiet. And then this is insult to injury, but this is partnership. So again, this is this softly, softly, catchy monkey. Just kind of a. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting they are all over this, and they don't want to make any. They're like, don't move, don't make any sudden moves. That's all I'm getting. Glenn says the Federal Reserve is not part of the government. Yes, it was pushed on us during Woodrow Wilson. Well, he was ill, and a banker who lived in the White House was ill by a banker. What? Central bank was attempted many times since U.S. won independence. Yes, the founding fathers didn't necessarily want to go in that direction. Well, some of them did, like Hamilton, who was a banker. Madison, who was a banker. Sorry, Hamilton. There was a whole play. It's a fantastic musical. No, Madison was the banker. But yeah, and it's, you know, interesting that when they first came up with the idea of the Federal Reserve, it was a meeting in secret on Jekyll Island. Couldn't work out better optics on that one, huh? Yeah. Lady Eva says, my best friend has seen Hamilton about 5 times. I still haven't seen it. I'll be honest. I saw the video. I got about halfway through. I'm not a musical kind of person, although it's really good. But I just reach a point where I'm like, okay, I need people to stop telling me a story through song for just a minute. It's a lot. It's good, but it's a lot. But Sarah loves it. Absolutely. Matter of fact, if she's on sometimes. When Sarah's on, you'll hear her phone. One of her ringtones that she uses quite often is the first few notes of Hamilton. Loves it, loves it, loves it. So. Diana Cachet saying, I worked. Oh, wait. I don't want to miss that. Says, I worked for the FDIC in a bank fraud case years ago, and they don't mess. No stone left unturned. Yeah. All right. And thank you, Sharon. That's very kind of you to put that in the chat. All right. Darren and Glenn yesterday were having a discussion about the possibility of nationalizing banks. Possibility, need. Darren was saying the USA needs to immediately nationalize, not the banks, I'm so sorry, I misspoke. Nationalize the railroads. Sorry. Darren is saying the USA needs to immediately nationalize all American railroads, like many European countries do. Seems to work well in Europe. A German Swiss American here. Just an observation. Glenn said, I agree. That has been suggested before, and we do have Amtrac. Real money is in the freight rails. Banks have opposed a truly national rail system like other countries. Rail barons, huh? And I can't. I can't think of nationalizing railroads without thinking of Atlas Shrugged. Oh my gosh. I don't like that book will forever live rent-free in my head with many other books, but still. But it was the whole railroad thing. Nationalizing railroad. Wheezy Squeezebox says live theater is a different energy than video. Oh yeah. When I was a teenager, my father took me to see 42nd Street. It was awesome. The Sun. Nationalizing the railroads, huh? 7 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, doesn't feel like it. Hermit, Page of Pentacles, doesn't feel like it. No. This is infrastructure. This is regulations, scrutiny. The companies themselves, they need to make sure they're living up to the regulations, but I'm just picking up the government's working on infrastructure, helping with the tracks, and hopefully putting protections back in place. And that's all I've got, I'm afraid. Easy Squeeze Box, most ridiculous book ever. Yeah. Marie Sutton says nationalizing railroads will never happen in the U.S. Greedy capitalism will fight against that. Sherry Edwards says more transparency, like 100%. That would be good. Glenn is talking about how it's a different situation in Europe. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, 57. CC Ryder. Okay, people have been talking about this in the news for a couple of days. So, all right, and this starts to get kind of interesting. And so there are 3 questions here. The first one from CC Ryder: the Ukrainian World Congress has asked for the Oscar nomination for Top Gun to be repealed, as the Russian oligarch Rybolovlev as the Russian oligarch Rybolovlev was a silent investor in the film. He also has ties to the Belarussian authoritarian regime, and he purchased property from Trump in 2008. Remember that? The Florida thing where he overpaid? Laundering money, anybody? He was a major funder of the recent Top Gun movie and the Mission Impossible sequels. Will the Academy remove the nomination? It's not like the Academy doesn't do politics. I mean, come on. Sun, Page of Pentacles, Devil. I'm not getting a no. There's some real talk about this. CC Ryder, we can skip the first question. Oscars are today. TPS still has nominations. Bigger concern is Russian influence over Hollywood. Okay. There is some real talk. This actually had some legs. This did not just, it wasn't just like a, so that's kind of something in and of itself. Oh, are the Oscars today? I'm out of touch. But seeing as the films that Rybolovlev has financed have one very big star in common, that would be Tom Cruise. Does this mean Tom Cruise might have some kind of nefarious connection to Russia? Because the man lives in a bubble. Faye says they will not because of Tom Cruise. Marie Sutton, that's the next question. Wherever they can get the money. However they can make the art. I mean, how do I put this? Okay, there's I saw some videos recently, young actresses, even people who have been on, shows you'd at least recognize if you watch a lot of streaming stuff, talking about how the producers can be creeps and, the girlfriend of one of the producers coming to this young actress and asking her to be in a threesome with them. And she's like, this guy is my boss. What do you do? And no, I'm not going to. And it's demeaning and it's, all of this kind of stuff. It's inappropriate. And I'm not a big fan of May, December romances in Hollywood in general because of the power imbalance. That said, I heard an interesting argument last night, which was because Hollywood is so toxic, there may be some of these May, December relationships aren't even necessarily full relationships. It's these women trying to find protection so that they can do their job without being just treated like meat. And that's sad. And this whole wherever you can get the money to make these kinds of films and all of that, it needs to stop. Yeah, exactly, Dave. Casting couches are not ethical. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Azalea, it's just terrible and sad. Exactly. Acting is a form of art. You should be able to do your art without having to sell your body. And the system is so toxic. Wherever you can get the money. And so you end up with these jerks who take advantage of young people, men and women. And so when one of these young people gets an opportunity to date an older star, an older big star, some of that quite often can just be because the real creeps will think twice before going after them if they say, oh, her boyfriend is big name. But this is a boys' club. This is going after the money. This is heinous. This is absolutely heinous. And it says some women use it to get power. Mm-hmm. Some other people, the other part of the argument was some were saying that the whole Nepo baby thing, nepotism, it isn't just getting your foot through the door, it's being able to stay. Because once you've got your foot through the door, again, if you are attached to someone with notoriety or power, you're going to have fewer of the creeps traumatizing you out of the industry. Lady Eva says, I have friends who are British actors. They're not into the whole Hollywood thing. Yeah, they're actually into acting. Yeah. So, Tom Cruise is in a weird bubble. And look, I haven't dated anyone in years. But, and I can understand people who may use like a dating app or something like that. But Tom Cruise has people at Scientology find him girlfriends. Okay, if you want to hire a matchmaker, but that's not quite the same thing. Sherry H says, look what happened to Ashley Judd. She told Weinstein no and basically blackballed from Hollywood. Yep. Faces how many have gotten into drugs just to cope. Mm-hmm. Karen B says fighter pilots are arrogant, narcissistic, etc. I was married to one for too long. I was married to a commercial pilot, and I've seen. I'm not saying anything about my ex. the less I have to think about him, the better. But the arrogance in amongst pilots, and I worked at the front desk where the pilots of the, Lear jets and all that came through, and yeah. I understand it takes a certain amount of ego to be able to get into one of those vehicles because they're the size of a building and be able to like, okay, let's take this building up for a flight. It's just, I can understand you have to have a certain amount of ego, but yeah, divorce rates among commercial pilots is really high. And it's not because they're gone they're gone a lot. Yeah. Just saying. Renia says Cruz's wives need it to be approved by the Church of Scientology. Well, at 108, what about the Church of Scientology? Because their membership is down. They have high overhead. They're under legal scrutiny. SB30 says, I've sold aviation insurance before. I know about cocky pilots. Yeah, Glenn, pilots like surgeons have big egos. And I can understand it to a point. And that doesn't mean they're all bad. Just some of them are. Kelly B says commercial pilots and surgeons have high divorce rates. Kelby says pilots, doctors, nope. All right, so hang on, I'll make this 108.45. So the Church of Scientology is hemorrhaging money. I mean, seriously. Are they taking on some Russian money? Are they taking on some of that sweet, sweet oligarch money? Entertainment only, YouTube. Yeah, and I always wondered about a cult dreamed up by a sci-fi writer. Scientology's hurting. Mm-hmm. Two of Wands, Magician, Moon, 10 of Cups, 3 of Swords. All right, I'm not getting big money here. So I don't necessarily think they're surviving on oligarch money. But this feels like people whose family members joined Scientology, these people getting their families back. And the people who have never known anything else, really being not knowing up from down, things for Scientology are going to get worse, is what these cards are saying. And I would say, well, I can't talk about the energy of Scientology because I just find it bad, period. But the cards here are saying it's going to get worse for them and better, healthier for people who will finally get out of the, you know, that cult. And there are people standing up against them. But it's still there. It's still there for now, but that's not going to fare, it's not going to fare better in the future. Betty is saying that Ron Hubbard was a scammer. I'm going to go with you on that one. And as a writer, it just infuriates me, the idea of creating a cult like that. Heck, having this channel makes me furious at the idea of having a cult like that. Have I ever tried to get you guys to do anything, to move away from your families, to go over something for hours every day, to basically self-brainwash? Have I ever tried to convert you to think as I think and, you know, buy me a mansion? No. That's reprehensible. Lady Eva is quite the contrary. Good. I hope so, because I don't want that job. That's gross. That is gross. And that would be that's a vile betrayal of what I feel, my spiritual beliefs, and what I feel is my connection to my higher self and my guides and the divine. I'm not here to convert anybody to anything. You know, just you be you. I just want you to be happy and healthy. And that's it. Anyway. All right. It is 1:37 p.m. So that's going to do it for me for today. Tomorrow we've got it looks like there's some leftover good international questions. We've got 3 of those. So I'll cover those tomorrow. All right. So it's 1:37 p.m. here in Chicago. It is 36 degrees Fahrenheit. There's been a few snowflakes, but right now nothing's coming down where I am. Well, the odd flake, but it's not really sticking. In UK, they call it pitching. It's not pitching, so it's not sticking. And other than that, at 3:30, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. Sometimes we start at 3. Depends if we're both just sitting there anyway. It's like, it's just going at 3. But at 3 or 3:30, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. And other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow because I am here 365 days of the year. I will not be dissuaded. Anyway, you take care. You're not alone. We are in this together. And there are good days ahead. There really are. All right. Take care. You get some rest. Time change is hard. Okay. I'll see you back here tomorrow.